Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are doing absolutely well. Guys, in today's video, we are going to cover most important Deloitte NLA exact questions which has previously been asked in the Deloitte NLA assessment. Okay, so while practicing these questions, you will get to know what exact types of questions comes in Deloitte NLA assessment. Also, you will get to know how you have to answer that, because we have not just covered the questions but the answers for those questions as well. And this is going to be a one shot video, which means multiple questions I have taken from multiple assessments, okay, which has previously happened in Deloitte NLA, and from that this one shot video is like created. So I hope this video will be helpful for you, and if you found it helpful, do write the word helpful in the comment section so that I get to know how many of you are watching it and finding it helpful. So if required, I will post next part of it too. So without wasting any time, let's get started with today's video. But before that, if you are new to the channel, consider subscribing, as I regularly post these kinds of helpful videos for all of you on daily basis on my channel. Also guys, there is a complete playlist on Deloitte. Make sure to check this playlist. Okay, you will find more helpful videos on my channel in this playlist. Okay, so let's get started with first question. Guys, before we move on to the next question, if you're finding this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new to the channel. Okay, so we have the new question right in front of us. Let's give it a read and then we will be solving it. The question says the ratio of present ages of two brothers is 1:2, and 5 years back their ratio was 1:3. What will be the ratio of their ages after 5 years? Okay, so let's first of all note down the data that we have and then we will be solving this question. So first of all, I will note three different things, that is past, then we have present, and then we have future. What is given to us is the present ratio, which is 1:2. So let's note it down in this section. Then the ratio was 1:3 when 5 years back, which means this ratio is of past. Okay, so I will note this ratio over here. Now we are asked to find out the ratio after 5 years, which means plus 5. So after 5 years we have to find the ratio. Let's try to formulate the equation first and then we will be solving it. So see, what I can do is this present ratio that we have 1:2, I can write it in this way, 1x by 2x, and if I subtract 5 from both, that is denominator and numerator, what I get is 1:3, because we are told, right, from the present age, if we will subtract 5 years, then this is the past ratio that we get. So based on this, we have formulated this equation that we have. Now let's solve this equation to get the value of x, and then we will be finding out the further details that we need to find out. So then it will be something like 3 into x minus 5, which is equals to 2x minus 5 on this side. Solving it further will be 3x minus 15 equals 2x minus 5, and 3x minus 2x is going to be x, and this side of minus 15 will go on that side. So 15 minus 5 is going to be 10. So this is the value of x that we have found out. Now based on this value, let's find the present ages, okay, for both the brothers. So the present ages is 1x and 2x, right, based on this ratio I am considering. So x value is what, 10, so 1 into 10 is 10 years, okay, for one of the brother, and the second brother's age is 2 into 10, which is 20 years. Now what we are asked is find what will be the ratio of their ages after 5 years. So what we can do, after 5 years their ages will be what, for first brother it will be 10 plus 5, which is going to be 15 year, and then for second brother it is going to be 20 plus 5, which is going to be 25 year. We need to find out the ratio of their ages. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to write 15 by 25. Solving it further will give me 5 3s are 15, 5 5s are 25. So 3:5 is the ratio that we have got. Okay, let's see if we have that option. Yes, option B is 3:5. So the correct answer for this question is going to be option number B. Moving on to the next question now. Okay, so we have this question. Let's read the question first, then we will be attempting it. The question says, I am 3 times as old as my son. So one thing is very clear, that a father is speaking these lines. Okay, so I am 3 times as old as my son. 15 years hence, which means in next 15 years or after 15 years, I will be twice as old as my son. The sum of our ages is. So let's note down the few things. Okay, see, the father is telling the age in terms of his son's age. So let us assume first thing, that is, let us assume son's age to be x, right? Son's age to be x. So where I have considered the son age as x, then what father is saying, I am 3 times as old as my son. So the father's age is going to be simply 3x, right? Then 15 years hence, which means from now, after 15 years, I will be twice as old as my son. So what I will do, first of all, let's note down ages after 15 years. Okay, ages after 15 years. Okay, and then we will be formulating the equation. So son, how much he will be? It will be x plus 15, simple, right? Because present age is x, so after 15 it will be x plus 15. In the same way, father, as of today the age is 3x, so after 15 years it will be 3x plus 15. Now what he is saying is, I am 3 times as old as my son. 15 years hence I will be twice as old as my son, which means the age after 15 years, his age after 15 years will be equivalent to twice, which means 2 into his son's age after 15 years. Okay, now we have to solve this equation to get the value of x, and then we will be finding their individual ages, and then finally we will just sum up their ages. Let's solve this equation. This one will be 3x plus 15, which is equals to 2x plus 30. Then 3x minus 2x will be x this side, and then this 15 will go there and get subtracted from 30, which will be 15. So x value we have got it as 15. So the son's age is 15, because son's age only we have considered it as x. So son is directly we can say 15, and father is what? Father's present age is 3x, which is going to be 15 times 3, which is 45. Now we have to find the sum of their ages. Okay, so sum of their ages will be, okay, sum of their ages or present ages, you can say 15 plus 45, which is going to be 60. So 60 years should be the correct answer for this question. Yes, we have option C as 60. So the correct answer will be option number C. I hope this was clear to you. Let's now move on to the next question. Let's look at this question. The question states the ratio between the length and breadth of a rectangular park is 3:2. If a man is cycling along the boundary of the park at the speed of 12 km per hour, completes one round in 8 minutes, then the area of the park is what? Okay, so basically, let's first of all note down the data which is given to us. We are told that we have a rectangular park, okay, something like this. Okay, now we are given the ratio of length and breadth, which is 3:2. Okay, this is 3:2. So we can, from this we can note that length we can consider it to be 3x, and then breadth in the same way we can consider it as 2x, right? Because based on the ratio which is given to us. And it is told that the man is cycling along the boundary of the park at a speed. Okay, speed is given, and he is completing the round in 8 minutes. Then we are asked to find the area of the park. Okay, so let's start with what is asked to us. So area of rectangular park will be what? Length into breadth, right? But here we have the length and breadth in terms of x. Okay, so we have to first of all find out the value of this x. What is that? Now to find out the value of x, we have some additional data which is given to us, which is speed and then time. So with speed and time, you can understand we have a formula which is speed equals to distance upon time, right? And now if the person is traveling, okay, on the edge of this rectangle, what does that mean? This is the distance, right? And this is the distance which is already given to us. Like, distance is not given to us, so we can write the formula in this way: distance is equals to speed into time. So I will find out the distance as speed into time. Speed is given to me as 12 km per hour, and time is given to me as 8 minutes. Okay, but at this point you might be thinking that why are we even finding out the distance? What is the use of it? So we see, guys, the distance here is nothing but the perimeter. Okay, perimeter of the rectangle. Okay, perimeter of rectangle. So if we somehow find the distance value, we can put that in the perimeter formula of rectangle, and then we can find the values of length and breadth, which we will later on put it in the area formula. So let's do this step by step so that it will be easy. As a first step, you have to just like simplify this, because it is given in kilometer per hour and we have the time in minutes. So let us convert kilometer per hour into meter per minute. Okay, so 12 kilometer will be 12,000 meters, right? And hour, so in 1 hour we have 60 minutes, and this 8 will remain as it is. When we will solve this 0 will get cancelled, and then we will be having 6 2s are 12 and then 2 zeros, so 8 2s are 16, and then 1600 will be the like distance that we will get. Now I told you distance is the perimeter only, nothing else but perimeter. So the formula for perimeter of rectangle is 2 into length plus breadth, right? So let's try to solve this now. So perimeter value we already have, which is the distance value, which is 1600, and then 2 into length is 3x, right? And breadth is 2x. Solving it further, 2 multiplied by 5x, which will be nothing but 10x, right? And this side it will be 1600. Solving it for x, 1600 divided by 10. So the value of x that we will get is 160. Now since we have the value of x as 160, we can easily find out the length. So length will be 3 into 160, right, which will be 16 into 3 is 48, so it will be 480, and 2 into 160 will be 320. So we have now the values of length and breadth. We can easily calculate the area. I will substitute the values of length and breadth over here, which will be 480 into 320. When I will solve this, I will get the final value of area as 153,600 meter square. So let's see if we have that option. Yes, option B is the correct one in this case, which is 153,600. So the correct answer for this question will be option number B. Let's now move on to the next question. So we have the question given on our screen. Let's read it out first of all, and then we will be solving it. The question states the height of a trapezium shaped wall is 8 meters. The trapezium's parallel sides measures 4 and 6 meters. Find the cost of painting the whole wall if the price per square meter is 50. Let's understand. First of all, this is a trapezium based question. So let me create a trapezium in this way, and let's note down the data which is given to us. Okay. So it is told that the height of the trapezium is 8 meters. Okay. So this is the height, which is 8 meter, which is given to us, and the trapezium's parallel sides measures 4 and 6 meter. So the smaller side is 4 meter and the larger side is 6 meter. Okay. So now we have noted down all the data which is there with us. Now let's try to find out. So in order to find the cost of painting the whole wall or the trapezium, we first of all need to find the area of trapezium, right? Because once we have the area of trapezium, then only we can find out the cost for it. So the formula for area of trapezium is half into sum of parallel sides. Okay, sum of parallel side multiplied by height. Okay, so this is the formula that we have for area of trapezium. Let's substitute the values now. So half into sum of parallel sides is 4 and 6, so 4 plus 6, and height is 8. Let's solve it further. Half into 10 into 8, this will be 5, so this will be 40. So we have the area as 40. Okay, so this is not the answer, just don't get confused. We need to find the cost of painting. So I will write it over here. Cost of painting will be equals to, see, cost of painting will be like we have to paint the entire area, and rate per meter square is given to us, right? Rate per meter square. So area that we have is 40 meter square, and rate per meter square is 50. So the final cost will be 2000, right? 4 5s are 20, and then these two zeros. So 2000, which is option B, will be the correct answer for this question. So guys, now let's move on to the next question. But before that, if you're finding this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new to the channel, because it really motivates me to bring more such helpful content for all of you. Let's see this question that we have on our screen. The question says the ratio between the perimeter and the breadth of a rectangle is 5:1. If the area of rectangle is 216 square meter, what is the length of the rectangle? And we have the given options as 16 centimeter, 18 centimeter, 24, data inadequate, and none of these. Let's try to solve the question based on the data that is given to us. First of all, it is told to us that the ratio between the perimeter and the breadth of the rectangle is, so I will write this data down, that is perimeter is to breadth. We can write is to in this format also, in the division format. So I have just noted this, that the perimeter is to breadth is 5:1, right? And we are talking about what? Rectangle. Okay, so we have to apply the formula in that way. Now we have the perimeter of rectangle formula, which is 2 into length plus breadth, right? And below is the breadth directly. So now I will, like, simplify it like this. Now what is our aim? We need to find the length of the rectangle. So we have to somehow find the ratio. Okay, like ratio in terms of length and breadth, and then we will put that in the formula of area, and with that we will get the value of length. Let's try to solve it further. So 2 into length plus breadth divided by breadth equals to 5/1, and then what I will do is 2l plus 2b, and this 5 will go there, so it will become 5b, right? And this 1 will go there and multiply, so nothing will be changed. So now this 2b will go there and become 5b minus 2b, which will be 3b, and this side it will be 2l. Okay, now we have the ratio, that is L by B is equals to 3/2. Now what we need to find? We need to find length, right? So as I told you, we can find it using area formula. So area of rectangle is already given to us, which is 216, and the formula for area of rectangle is length into breadth, right? So now we don't have the exact values, but what we can do is we need to find the length value, right? So what if I find the value of breadth from here in terms of length? For example, this B will go over there, so 2/3L it will be, right? So the breadth value I can write in terms of length. So we will substitute something like this. Okay, 2 by 3 L 216. Now solving this equation, we will get the L value. Okay, so this side it will be L square, and this 2 by 3 will go over there and become 3 by 2. Okay, this will be 216, and then when we will cancel this, it will be 108. Okay, and then 3 into 108 is going to be 324. So this is the value of L square. Now we want to find out the value of L, so we will just find the square root of it. So it will be 18. So the correct answer for this question will be the value of length is 18 centimeter, which is option number B. Okay, so I hope you have understood it, how we have to solve the question. Basically, we were given some relationship between the perimeter and breadth. Based on that, we have formulated the equation, found out the value of breadth, and then that value of breadth we have to substitute in the area formula, and finally we have got our length value. Moving on to the next question now. Let's look at this question, guys. In this question, we have the question as a boat can travel with a speed of 13 km per hour in still water. The speed of the stream is 4 km per hour. Find the time taken by the boat to go 68 km downstream. So as a first step, let's note down all the data that is given to us. So the boat speed is given to us is 13 km per hour. Okay. And then we have the next data, which is speed of stream. So stream speed is given to us as 4 km per hour. Okay. Then find the time taken by the boat to go 68 km downwards. So basically we need to find time taken, and then distance is also given to us, which is 68 kilometers downwards. Okay, downstream. So now again we know that the formula for speed is what? Distance upon time. So time will be what? Distance upon speed. Okay, and which speed we will take in this case? Downstream, because it is given to us in the question itself. So as a first step, our duty is to find downstream speed. Now based on the given data, we can easily find downstream speed. So downstream speed will be what? Downstream speed is equals to downstream means adding. Okay, both the speeds will get add up. So boat speed plus stream speed. Boat speed is 13, stream speed is 4, which is going to be 17 km per hour. Okay, so now let's substitute this in the formula that we have. So distance that is given to us in the question is 68 kilometers, and then this speed that we have found, downstream speed that we have found, is 17 km per hour. Now you need to just divide it. So 17 will get easily cut directly 4 times with 68. So because 17 fours are 68. Okay, so the final answer will be 4 hours. Okay, let's see if we have that option. Yes, option number C is 4 hours. So the correct answer for this question will be option C. If you have any doubts, feel free to put it in the comment section. Moving on to the next question. Let's look at this question. First of all, we will be reading the question. A man's speed with the current is 15 km per hour and the speed of the current is 2.5 km per hour. The man's speed against the current is what? Okay, so let's note down the data which is given to us is man's speed with the current, which means what? Current here means stream only. Okay, so you don't have to get confused whenever you see the word stream. So stream and current are both interchangeable words that is mostly used in these types of questions. So here it is told is the speed of man plus the speed of current or stream is equals to 15 km per hour. Okay, this is first data which is given to us. Then the second data that is given to us is speed of the current is 2.5 km per hour, which means C value is also given to us as 2.5 km per hour, and the man's speed against the current. Now what does this mean? Man's speed against the current is nothing but the upstream. Okay, upstream is also called as speed against the current, because in upstream what we are doing, we are going in the opposite direction where the water is flowing, right? So that is what is called as man's speed against the current. So upstream formula was what? Man's speed minus current stream, right? Current speed. So see, we already have the C value, but we need to find out the value of M. Okay, once we have the value of M, we will put it in this formula and then we will finally find our answer. So what we will do, M plus C we already know is 15 and C is what? 2.5. Okay, we will substitute it here. So M value that we will be getting is 15 minus 2.5. Okay, this is going to be 12.5. Okay, so we have found the value of M as 12.5. Now we will put this value over here. So M value is 12.5 that we have got. C value, that is the speed of current, we have already got it in the question itself, which is 2.5. So let's subtract it. We will get the final answer as 10, which is kilometer per hour, which is the speed, okay, upstream speed or the man's speed against the current. Guys, you also have to keep on noticing one point. Okay, that your values are always in the similar units, like kilometer per hour. Here also it is kilometer per hour. So that is why we are not taking care of conversion. Otherwise, if your time or some value which is not in the proper format, you need to also take care of conversion, okay, of the units. So guys, for this the correct answer will be option number C. Moving on to the next question now. Let's look at this question, guys. But before looking at this question, if you are new to the channel, consider subscribing to the channel, and if you are finding this video helpful, please give it a like. So guys, the question is, at what percent annual compound interest rate if a sum of rupees 1000 amounts to rupees 27,000 in 3 years? So what we need to find basically is the rate value, okay, compound interest rate. So we have to find rate value. Let's note down the data which is given to us. So the principal amount that is given to us is 1000. So it is told sum here, so don't get confused. Sum is principal only. So principal amount that I am given is 1000 and it amounts to rupees 27,000. So this is the amount value which is given to me, okay. Now in 3 years, so this is the time value which is given to me, 3 years. Now I need to find the rate value, okay. So R. So simply we can use amount formula in this case to find out our answer. So amount is equals to what? P into 1 plus R by 100 to the power of n. Okay, now amount value we have is 27,000. P is the principal, which is 1000 in this case, and 1 plus rate is the one that we need to find out. So I will keep rate as R and then divide by 100, and then n is my 3. So now I will solve this equation to get my final answer. Okay, see, this will be 27,000 divided by 1000. This 1000 will come here in the denominator and this will get cancelled, and on this side we will be left with 1 plus R by 100 cube. Okay, see, this is 27. 27 can be written as 3 cube, right? And then here we have 1 plus R by 100 cube. So this and this can get cancelled. So we will be left with 3 equals to 1 plus R by 100, right? Then this can be further simplified. This 1 will go over there. So it will be 2 is equals to R by 100. So R will finally be 200, right? So the correct answer for this question will be, the rate value will be 200. So answer is option number C. I hope you have easily understood how to solve this question. So guys, most of the question will be in this manner only, that you have to use the formula, okay, of amount or either compound interest, and in that all the other things will be given to you and you need to find one thing which is missing. Okay, in this case it was rate that we need to find out. So now let's move on to the next question. Let's look at this question that we have. The question says, A invested rupees 16,000 at the rate of 10% per annum for 1 year. If the interest is compounded half yearly, then find the total amount received by A at the end of the year. Now this question is very important because here half yearly is very important, okay, because in this case we cannot directly apply the formula amount which is for annual, okay. So now here we need to find here we need to apply half year and, like, you know, amount formula. So what is that formula? So amount is equals to P into 1 plus, so usually we put R by 100, but this time it is half yearly, so that is why we will do R by 2 divided by 100, and then instead of n it will be 2n. Okay, so this is our formula for half yearly. Okay, so if the interest is compounded half yearly, then we use this formula. Okay, just remember that. Now let's solve this question by putting all the values that we have. So let's note down the data which is given to us. First of all, principal that is given to me is 16,000, rate which is given to me is 10%, and time which is given to me is 1 year. Okay, now I will note down all this in my formula to solve it. So principal is 16,000, 1 plus R by 2, which is 10 by 2 by 100 to the power of 2n, n is 1, so it will be 2 over here. Okay, simplifying it further, it will be 1 plus 10 by 2 is 5 by 100 to the power of 2, which is square. So now what we can do is, I can do like this, 1 plus 5 by 100, I can write it as 100 plus 5, 105 by 100, okay, square. 16,000 will come over here. Now 16,000 multiplied by 105 by 100, 105 by 100, since it is a square, so I am writing it 2 times. These 2 zeros will get cancelled, this 0 will get cancelled with this 0. Okay, now it will be 2 8s are 10, and then 2 5s are 10. Then further we will solve it. 5, this will get cancelled with 21. So we will be left with 8 into 105 into 21, which when you will solve, you will get 17640. Okay, and this is the amount value that we have found. Just let's cross check whether we will need to ask amount. We were asked to find amount only or compound interest. So in the question it was mentioned, he invested 16,000 at the rate of 10% per annum for 1 year. If the interest is compounded half yearly, then find the total amount received, which means this is the only final answer that we will have to submit. So the correct answer will be option number A, which is 17640. Okay guys, I would always suggest you that after you get the final answer, just cross check in the question that you need to find out amount only or compound interest, because sometimes what happens is we use this amount formula to get amount value initially, and then using that we calculate compound interest, right? By putting in the formula A is equals to this principal plus your interest. But what happens usually, by the time we reach the final answer, like by the time we find the amount value, we feel that this is only the answer and we just select the wrong option. I hope you are understanding what I'm trying to say here. Let's now move on to the next question. So guys, let's look at this question. The question is, from a group of 7 men and 6 women, 5 persons are to be selected to form a committee, so that at least 3 men are there on the committee. In how many ways can it be done? Okay, so guys, first of all, after reading the question, we have to understand that is this question needs to be solved using combination or permutation. So understand easily that whenever we have this type of question, that we need to select out of the given data, that is like, first of all, we are given the data of man and woman, and out of that we have to select it, right? So whenever selection is there, we will always do what? Combination. Okay, we will always apply combination. Okay, and in case of permutation, when that should be applied, so whenever like you have to rearrange, okay, rearrange a particular thing, then in that case we apply permutation. Okay, so now from the question itself it is very clear, since it is a selection based question, we are going to apply combination formula. Okay, what does the question says? First of all, the question says that there is a group of 7 men and 6 women, and for them we have to create, out of them we have to create a committee of how many people? 5 people. Okay, so a committee needs to be formed of 5 people, and in that one criteria is given to us that at least 3 men are there. Okay, now when I say at least 3 men, then what can be the different scenarios that can happen? See, one scenario can be 3 men will be there, so out of total 5, 3 are men, so remaining 2 will be what? Women, right? And then one other case can be at least 3, right? So more than 3 can also be there, so I am considering 4 men are there. So in that case, 1 woman will be there, right? One more case can be that all 5 men we are taking, right? So in that case there will be no women, so 0 women. Okay, so these 3 different cases can happen, or different combinations can happen, and we have to find out how many ways it can be done. So see, simply if we have reduced this logic, then it will be very easy to solve this question. Let's try to solve it. So we have 7 men, out of that first case is 3 men and 2 women. So how we will select 3 men out of 7 men? So it will be written in this way: 7C3. Okay, combinations multiplied by, out of 6 women we have to select 2 women. Okay, so 6C2. This is one case, plus second condition we will write. Okay, second case, 7 men and 4 men. Okay, so out of 7 men we have to select 4 men, so 7C4 multiplied by, out of 6 women 1 woman needs to be selected, so 6C1. Okay, now plus again, and in the third case it can be like 7 men, out of that we have to select 5 men. Okay, 7C5, and I'm not writing women's one because women's we are not choosing only. So yeah, in this way what we will do is simply we will solve this equation and we will finally get our answer. Let's try to solve it. How can this be solved? See, 7C3, okay, it can be written as 7 into 6 into 5 divided by 3 factorial, so 3, 2, 1. Okay, simply multiplied by 6C2, it can be written as 6 into 5 and 2 into 1, simple as that. Plus now 7C4 we can solve it, but I have in combinations there is this thing that NCR is equals to NCR is equals to NCN minus R. Okay, so when I say 7C4, this can also be equal to 7C 7 minus 4, which is 3. Okay, so we can write 7C4 as 7C3 also. Now you might be thinking, why am I doing this in the first place? Okay, I am just doing this to make my calculations easy. See, if I have to solve 7C4, what I have to do? 7 7, 6, 5 and 4, right? Now 4 factorial, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? But on the other hand, if I have to do the calculation of 7C3, what I need to do? 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1, right? So you can observe that the calculations becomes a little bit easy. So whenever, if you have a calculation of a greater number, you can simplify it in this way. So 7C4 I'm going to write it as 7C3 multiplied by 6C1. I'm going to keep as it is because 1 is there, so it will be easy for me to calculate. Again here in 7C5, 5 factorial will be too much to calculate. So what I will do, 7C, 7 minus 5, which will be 2. So 7C2 I will do. Okay. Now we have the like more simplified equation. Now we will solve it further. So see, if you will solve this whole part, right, this first part, okay, what you will be getting is 525. Okay. Now plus, let's solve this portion. Okay, so 7C3 can be written as 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and this will be multiplied 6C1. 6C1 will be simply 6. Okay, plus 7C2, it can be written as 7 multiplied by 6, 2 multiplied by 1, divided by 2 multiplied by 1. Okay, further, so 525 as it is. Okay, and then this, okay, we will solve 3 to the 6, it will get cancelled. So 7 into 6 and then multiplied by 5. So 6 5s are 30, 30 into 7 is 210. So this middle portion becomes 210. This we will solve, 2 3s are 6, 7 3s are 20. Okay, so 21. So this will be our final like values that we will be getting. So 525 plus 210 plus 21 becomes what? 756. So the final answer that we will be getting is this one, option number D, which is 756. Okay, so I hope you understood how to solve this question. It was easy only. Basically, if you have solved it once and if you have understand the pattern, then it will be very easy for you to solve. Okay, so let's now move on to the next question. Let's look at this question. The question says, in how many different ways can the letters of the word leading be arranged in such a way that the vowels always come together? Okay, so let's see how can we solve this type of question. And this is the most asked and most common type of questions that are generally asked. So let's write the word first of all, which we have. Okay, so the word is Leading, leading. Okay, now what we are asked is, in how many different ways can the letters of the word leading be arranged? Okay, arrange means this is a permutation based questions. Okay, very clear. Permutation formula we have to apply in such a way that the vowels always come together. Okay, so we have to find the arrangement in such a way that all the vowels comes together. So let's first of all understand how many vowels are there in this one. So E, A, and then I. Okay, so there are 3 vowels. Okay, so I will write it here, E, A, I, and remaining are the consonants. So what are the consonants? Consonants are L, D, and then we have N and G. Okay, so this is the like one of the combinations. So what they are telling is that find different arrangements in such a way that this EAI or not EAI exactly, but all the vowels should stay together. Now this EAI is one such combination of vowels. What can other be? So see, there are 3 letters, right? So in 3 letters there can be 6 different arrangements which can happen. So I'll tell you what are the ones. So for example, EAI is one, then EIA can be one. Okay, then one more can be AEI, then another can be AIE, then we can have IAE and IEA. Okay, so for 3 letters we can have 6 different arrangements, right, just for the vowels. Okay, now we have to understand that whenever we have like 3 letters, it has 6 arrangement, which is 3 factorial. Okay, so now we have to find for the entire word leading. Okay, so how we will find out? See, we have to consider that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this whole to be a one single letter, because we are told that the vowels should be all together, right, in your final answer. So how many letters we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we will consider 5 factorial multiplied by the arrangements of these 3 intermediate, right? So 3 factorial, right? So this, when we will solve this, we will get our answer. Okay, I hope how you have got how we have solved it. Simply we will just calculate the letters that we have in our like word. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, because this 3 always needs to be together. So that is why I am considering it as one letter. And then the internal arrangement of this, for that I have multiplied with 3 factorial. Now let's solve it. So 5 factorial can be written as 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 3 factorial can be written as 3, 2, 1. Okay, now 5 factorial can be, so when we will solve it, it becomes 120, and 3 factorial when we will solve it, it becomes 6. So the final answer will be 720. So the correct option will be option number C, which is option C is the correct answer, which is 720. Okay, so this is a very common asked questions. Okay, so if you have understood this question, you can solve any other question based which comes on this type of pattern. Okay, let's now move on to the next question that we have. So guys, let's look at this first question that we have. Tickets numbered 1 to 20 are mixed up and then a ticket is drawn at random, what is the probability that the ticket drawn has a number which is a multiple of 3 or 5? Let's see how we are going to solve this question. First of all, we know the probability formula is probability of an event is equals to n of e divided by n of s. Okay, now what is n of e and what is n of s? N of e is simply the event and n of s is the sample space. Okay, let's try to find out the values of these. Okay, n of e and n of s, and then we will just substitute it in this formula to find out our answer. See, first of all, we need to calculate the sample space, which is n of s or s. Directly we can write. Now what is the sample space in this going to be? Okay, see, it is told that tickets numbered from 1 to 20 are mixed up, and then one ticket is drawn at random. So if we have a ticket numbered from 1 to 20, then what can be the sample space? Sample space can be any digit, right? From 1, 2, 3 up till 20, right? Because we are given 20 tickets and we have to draw one. So it can be like we can get any digit from 1 to 20, right? So this is what our sample space going to be. So the value of sample space going to be 20, right? Because we have this 20 numbers. Now we are going to find out the event. Event is what? What is the probability that the ticket drawn has a number which is a multiple of 3 or 5? So let's try to create the event. See, in sample space we have a lot of numbers, right? All from 1 to 20. Now we have to, in event we will only take those numbers which are either a multiple of 3 or 5. So 1 cannot come, 2 also cannot come, but 3 can come, right? Because 3 is a multiple of 3. In the same way 4 cannot come because 4 is not a multiple of either 3 or 5. Next number is 5, which is a multiple of 5. Then 6, which is a multiple of 3. Then 7 cannot come, 8 cannot come, 9 can come because it is a multiple of 3. Next digit 10, which is a multiple of 5, 12, multiple of 3, then 15, then 18, and then 20. So in this way we have prepared the event. Okay, event was what? That it should be a like multiple of 3 or 5. So we have taken all the numbers from 1 to 20 which are like multiples of 3 and 5, and we have got these numbers. Let's see the count of them. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So these are 9. Okay, so we will just simply do n of e, which means number of event, which is 9, and then n of s, which is 20, right? So this is what our probability going to be, which is 9 by 20. So the correct answer for this question is option number D. Let's now move on to the next question. So guys, this is the next question that we have. Let's read the question first and then we will be solving it. The question says, out of 17 applicants, there are 8 boys and 9 girls. 2 persons are to be selected. 2 persons are to be selected for the job. Find the probability that at least one of the selected person will be a girl. Now how we will solve this question? Let's understand. Okay, first of all, the event of selection of 2 people, in this case, how we will take it? Okay, we have to select 2 person, right? And we have to what is the probability that we have to find that at least one of the selected person will be girl? So in different ways we can do the selection. Okay, see, out of 8 boys and 9 girls, one case can be first is a girl, right? First that we select is a girl. Okay, and then select second will be what? And in second like out of selecting the second person, we select that second is a boy. Okay, second is a boy. Another case. Okay, so this is one case, or second case can be first is a boy, right? First is a boy and second that we select is a girl. Okay, second is a girl, and the third can be what? First is a girl, first is a girl, and second is also a girl. Okay, now you might be thinking, why are we doing this third case? Because in the question what is told to us is find the probability that at least one of the selected person is a girl. See, in the first case, one girl. Okay, second boy. Second case, first boy, second girl, and in third case also it is totally valid because we can take 2 girls, because the condition that was given to us is that at least one girl should be there. Okay, in your selection, we cannot take this case that in the first one also we can select a boy, in the second also we can select a boy. We cannot do that because at least in our selection there should be one girl. Okay, so based on this, now we will create the equation and then we will be solving it. See, first is a girl, so how we will select that? There are 17 applicants, and out of 17, so I will put 17 in the denominator, and how many boys are there? 8 boys are there and 9 girls. So out of 9 girls I have to select one girl, so 9 by 17. Okay, and is this multiplication I'm putting and second is a boy. Now already one girl we have selected out of 17, so out of total we have now only 16 left. Okay, so I'm putting denominator as 16. Now second is a boy, so how out of 8 boys I have to select, so that is why I will put 8 over here. Okay, now or, which means plus Again we will create in the same way. First is a boy, so total 17 we had, and out of 8 boys I have to select, so 8 multiplied by 1 is already selected, so I will have now 16. So out of 9 girls I have to select 1, so 9 over here, plus first is a girl, so out of 17 total, out of 9 girls I have to select 1, so 9 by 17 multiplied by, again second is also a girl, so out of 16 I have to select, now out of 9 1 is already selected, so 8. Okay, so 8 by 16. Now we have to simplify this to get our final answer. See how we will solve it. 8 1s are 8, 8 2s are 16, so this will be 9 by 34 plus 8 2s are 16, 9 by 34 here also, plus 8 2s are 16, 9 by 34 here also. 9 by 34 we will add 3 times, we will be getting 27 by 34. Okay, so 27 by 34 we have got it, and let's see if we have that as option. Yes, we have option D as 27 by 34. So the correct answer for this question will be option number B, which is 27 by 34. I hope you have understood it. If you have any doubts related to this question, feel free to ask me in the comment section. Let's now move on to the next question. Let's look at this question. The question says a sum of money is to be distributed among A, B, C, D in the proportion of 5:2:4:3. If C gets rupees 1000 more than D, what is B's share? Okay. See, first of all, we are given some data. Let's use that, and based on that, we have to find the B share. Okay. See, let us assume that let the shares of A, B, C, and D be, okay, A, B, C, and D be what? 5x. Okay. How am I writing this? Based on this, okay, I'm just taking in terms of x. 2x, this is for B, 4x, this is for C, and 3x, this is for D. Okay. Now we have to find out the, value of B share. So what is our first duty is to find the value of x. If we somehow find the value of x, we can substitute that over here and find B's share. Okay, let's understand how we will find the value of x. Okay, see, it is told, one more thing is told to us is that if C gets 1000 more than D. Okay, so let's write it in this way. C is 1000 more than D. Okay, in this way. Now what is C's share? It is 3x, right? So I will put 3x over here. What is, sorry, this is C is 4x. Okay, and that was D. Actually, let me correct it. So what is C? Okay, it is 4x, then 1000, and then D is what? D is 3x, right? So this is, okay, this is our equation. Now we will simplify it further. So it will be 4x minus 3x is equals to 1000, right? So 4x minus 3x is x is equals to 1000. See, we have successfully found out the value of x. Now in order to find B's share, we already know B's value is 2x. So what we will do? 2 into 1000. So we will get the B share, which will be 2000 rupees, right? Let's see if we have that option. Yes, option C is the correct one. That is 2000 is the correct answer for this question. So guys, before we move on to the next question, I just want to request you, if you are finding this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new to the channel. Let's now move on to the next question. Let's read the question. The question says, seats of mathematics, physics and biology in a school are in the ratio 5:7:8. There is a proposal to increase the seats by 40%, 50% and 75% respectively. What will be the ratio of the increased seats? Okay, so we have to find out the ratio of the increased seats. So let us assume that let the number of seats be for maths 5x. Okay, based on the data that is given to us, I am taking that. For physics 7x, and then for next is biology, right? So biology 8x. Okay, so we have considered this in terms of x. Now what is the next thing that we will have to consider is that there is a proposal to increase these seats by 40%, 50% and 75%, and whenever this type of increment in the percentage is given to us, we will have to take it in this way. That is, for physics it will be what? 140% of what? 5x, right? Because see, previously it was like 100% we will consider, and then 40 more percent is increased. So that is why we will take 140% of what value? Of the previous value, right? And then we have to find the ratio of these three increased values. So ratio sign I am putting here, and then what is for physics? 7. Okay, previous one was 7x and the increment is 50% more. So we can write 150% of 7x. And in this way, for biology it is 75% increment, so I will write 175% of 8x. Okay, now let's solve this one to get the final ratio value. So 140% of 5x, we can write it in this way. Okay, and then 150% of 7x, and then 175% of 8x, right? See, now we just need to simplify these things. Okay, so let's solve it. See, it will get cancelled, and then this will get cancelled with 2 sevens are 6. Okay, so 2 sevens are 14, so 7x over here. Okay, here also let's solve it further. So it will get cancelled with this one, and further it will get is it any getting cancelled? 5 2s are 10, 5 3s are 15, 3 7s are 21 by 2x, and then this will also get cancelled with 5. So after final like calculation, it will be 14x. Okay, I'm directly writing. Now see, we have the ratio in this way, but we never write the ratio in this. We write it in the simplest form. What we will do first is this 2 we will multiply on both sides. Okay, so we will take the LCM and then we will solve it. So this will be 14x. Okay, and since we are taking the LCM, this will get multiplied by 2, so this 2 and that 2 will get cancelled, so it will be 21x over here, and then this one will be 28x. Okay, and then denominator we do not need to write since we are finding the ratios. This x will get cancelled, and then this also are common, right? Like we can divide them all. So what I will do is, it will be these are the multiples of 7. Okay, so 7 2s are 14, 7 3s are 21, and then 7 4s are 28. And we do not need to write x in K because x is everywhere, so we can write 2:3:4. So the final answer for this question will be 2:3:4, which is option number A. So now moving on to the next question. Let's read this question. In a mixture 60 liters of in a mixture of 60 liters, the ratio of milk and water is 2:1. If this ratio is to be 1:2, then the quantity of water to be further added is what? Okay, we have to find that. So guys, let's understand how we will solve it. See, first of all, let us identify, because the total mixture that is given to us is 60 liters. Okay, we will identify the quantity of milk in this. Okay, quantity of milk. How we will find out the quantity of milk? Basically, we are given the ratio of milk is to water. So using this ratio, we can easily find out the quantity of milk. See, this is milk ratio and this is water ratio. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take 2, okay, which is milk ratio, divided by the total, which is 2 plus 1, multiplied with the total mixture, okay, quantity, which is 60. Further solving it, it will be 2 by 3 multiplied by 60, which is like this will get cancelled, and we will get 40. So 40 liter is the milk, and then in that 20 liters of water is getting added. Okay, how am I saying quantity of water? 20 liter. Obviously, see, quantity of water, total mixture is how much? 60, right? So out of that 40 is milk, so remaining is what? Water. So that is how I'm saying 20 liter of water is there. Okay, so we had like 40 liters of milk and 20 liters of water. So now what is asked to us? If this ratio is to be 1:2, then the quantity of water to be further added. So now in the same way, it has asked us that there is a new ratio that is given to you. Okay, and your duty, and it is also told that while creating this new ratio, some amount of water is added, and you have to find that what is the exact amount of that water is added. Okay, so let us assume water to be added dx. Okay, water to be added dx. Okay, and using this we will formulate our equation. See, we have like see, how am I writing this? Is milk, okay, on the top, water on the down portion. Milk is about 40 and water is how much? 20, and we are told that some amount of water has to be added, which means x, which we have considered, will be added. And when we do this, what will be our new ratio? 1:2. Okay, so in this way I have formulated this new equation, and when I will solve this, I will get the value of x, and that x value is only our answer, that is the water that is further added. Let's solve it quickly. So see, I'm solving it. So 40 into 2 will be 80, and then this will go there, so which will be 20 plus x. Okay, then this will go here, so 80 minus 20 equals to x, and x equals to finally be 60. So 60 is the correct answer for this question, that is 60 liters. Okay, which is option number D. 60 liters is the amount of water that has to be further added in order to reach this ratio. Okay, so I hope you have understood it. It is a basic easy question, just that you need to know and practice this question beforehand. Otherwise, when you will directly see in your exam, you might not know how to solve it. But if you have once solved it, it will be very easily. You can try, solve other questions also. Moving on now to the next question. Let's look at this question. The question says Rohan invested an amount of rupees 13,900 divided in two different schemes, scheme A and scheme B, at the simple interest rate of 14% per annum, 11% per annum respectively. If the total amount of simple interest earned in 2 years to be 3,508, what was the amount invested in scheme B? Okay, see guys, the question is simple. It's just that it is a lot of data that is given to us, so some of the students might get confused. Let's see how we are going to solve it. See, we are told that Rohan has invested a particular amount in two different schemes. Okay, scheme A and B, and we are clearly told that simple interest of scheme A and simple interest for scheme B, okay, is equals to total simple interest, obviously, right? So here, if you read here, if the total amount of simple interest earned in 2 years to be 3,508, which means total simple interest value is already given to me. Now I have to substitute the values over here. So we already know the formula for simple interest is PRT divided by 100. Okay, so in this case, what I will do is simple interest for scheme A, I will put P, principal amount of A, rate amount of A, and time of A. Okay, divide by 100. In the same way, I will put a plus in between, and then principal amount of B, rate amount of B, and then time in B scheme, and then 100. Let's see if we have all this PARA, TA, and PB, RB, TB values or not. So first of all, what we are told is Rohan invested an amount of 13,900 divided in two different schemes A and B. Okay, so what we are told is Rohan has invested this total amount. Okay, so we are not told individual principal amounts of A and B. Okay, so what we will do is we will assume principal amount of A to be X. Then what will be the principal amount of B? See, according to the question, it is very clear that principal amount of A plus principal amount of B is equals to 13,900, because that is the total money or the amount Rohan had initially, which he invested in two schemes, right? A and B. So we have assumed principal amount of A to be X. Then what we can say, principal amount of B to be simply PB is equals to 13,900 minus X, right? So that is why I am considering this to be this much. Okay, so now we have PA, PB value. Let's see if we have rate values or not. So here it is mentioned that two different schemes A and B at the simple interest rate of 14% and 11%, which means we also have the values of rates. Okay, so I'm writing it over here. So our A is what, 14%, and then rate for B scheme is what, 11%. Okay, if the total amount of simple interest earned in 2 years, which means for both the schemes he has invested in like 2 years, so TA and TB both are what, 2 years only. Okay, so now since we have all the values, let's substitute that in the equation to find our final answer. So now PA value that I had is X, then rate A is 14, time is 2 divided by 100, plus in this case PB value is what, let me write it down. PB value we have found out to be 13,900 minus X. Okay, this is my PB value. Rate B value is 11 and time is 2 again over here, divided by 100 again. Okay, and this side, this both will add up to give 3508. Now we need to solve this equation to find the value of X, and then we will find our final answer. Let's see what it will be. See, here it will be 28X. Okay, 14 into 2, 28 into X, 28X plus okay, I'm directly writing the solution so that it will be easy. I'm not writing the entire step by step because it will take a lot of time. So minus 22X, but you have to solve it on your own. Okay, the entire equation, 350 800 minus 13,900 multiplied by 22. Okay, this we will when we will solve, this will be the next step, and then 28X minus 22X will be 6X, and this side it will be 45,000. Okay, so in this way the X value that we will be getting is 7,500. Now what is asked, what was the amount invested in scheme B? Amount invested means principal amount, which was PB. So PB we have considered as 13,900 minus X. So PB is equals to 13,900 and we already have the X value which is 7,500. So I will put it over here. So I will get the PB value as 6,400. So let's see if we have that option. Yes, option A only 6,400. So the correct answer for this question will be option number A, which is 6,400. I hope you have understood it. What was the question and how to solve it. These types of questions are very common. So you should have a good practice of solving these questions. So guys, let's now move on to the next question. So guys, let's look at this question. But guys, before we look at this question, if you're finding the video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. So let's read the question that is given to us. A sum fetched a total simple interest of rupees 4,016.25 at the rate of 9 PCPA in 5 years. What is the sum? Okay. So let's try to note down the values that is given to us and then we will be solving this question. See, first of all, we know the formula for simple interest is PRT by 100. Okay, this is the formula that we have. Now let's note down the data which is given to us. Data is 9, which means 9% per annum. Okay, that is the thing. So simply it is 9. It is just PCPA. Don't get confused with that. Time which is given to us is 5 years. Okay, so time also I have noted. And then what is the sum value that is asked to me? Sum is nothing but the principal amount. Okay. So principal amount is what we need to find out, and simple interest value is also given to me, which is 4016.25. Now substituting all this value in this formula to find out the p value. Let's do that. 4016.25 is equals to p multiplied by r, which is 9, t, which is 5, divided by 100. So p is equals to 4016.25 multiplied by 100 divided by 9 into 5. Okay, so this will be simply 8925. When you will solve it, you will get this as your answer. So 8925 rupees is your principal amount. Okay, this is your principal, or you can say sum. Principal or sum, whatever you can say. Okay, both is one and the same thing. So let's see if you have that option. Yes, option number D is 8925. So the correct answer for this question is option number D. Let's now move on to the next question. So guys, I hope you are finding the questions helpful and you are also understanding the explanation. If you have doubts in any of the question, feel free to comment down and ask in the comment section. Let's look at this question. The question is, a sum of money at simple interest amounts to rupees 815 in 3 years and to rupees 854 in 4 years. The sum is what? See guys, we have the amount after 3 years, which is 850, and then the amount after 4 years, which is 854. So using this, we can calculate simple interest for 1 year, right? Because I'll tell you how we are calculating. Simple interest for 1 year will be what? 854 minus 815, right? Because see, after 3 years, my amount is this, and in that some simple interest is getting added, because of which at the end of 4th year my amount will increase to 854. So when we subtract 854 minus 815, the amount that we will be getting is 39, and this is our simple interest for 1 year. Okay, now what we have to find? We have to find the sum. Now sum here is nothing but principal amount. Okay, so how we will calculate? Let's see. Initially we are told that the sum of money at simple interest amounts to rupees 815 in 3 years. So first of all, let me calculate simple interest for 3 years. Okay, so simple interest for 3 years I can simply calculate using 39 multiplied by 3, which is nothing but 170. Okay, so now I have the value of simple interest for 3 years. Now how simple interest usually works is, we have a principal amount. Okay, in that, then we add simple interest. Okay, it gives the actual total amount, you can say. So in this case, we are asked to find principal amount, which we will find. Simple interest value we have already found out. Okay, and I am solving this for 3-year case. So for 3 years, I have found out my simple interest value to be 117, and my total amount after adding simple interest is already given to me in the question, which is 815. So if I put this, I can easily find my principal value, which is going to be 815 minus 117, which is going to be 698. Okay, so 698 is going to be my principal value, which is option number C in this case. Okay, I hope you have understood it. It was very simple question basically. here we were given the data, okay, is scattered somewhere. So we have to find out the, like, simple interest for 1 year. First of all, we have found out that. Then we have calculated the simple interest for 3 years, and we have put that value in this thing to find out our principal value. Let's now move on to the next question. Let's look at this question. The question says A can do a work in 15 days, B can do in 20 days. If they work together for 4 days, then the fraction of work that is left is, okay. So how we are going to solve this question is, basically we know total work is always 1, right? Total work is always 1. So we are asked that if they work together for 4 days, then the fraction of work that is left is. So how we will solve this question is, first of all, we will find out the work done by A, like in 1 day. So A is 1 day work, okay, will be how much? 1 by 15, okay. In the same way, B's 1 day work is 1 by 20. Now, if they together do the work in, like, how much work they will do together in 1 day, it will be A plus B's 1 day work, okay. 1 day work will be 1 by 15 plus 1 by 20, okay. If they work on it together for 4 days, which means 4 into 1 by 15 plus 1 by 20, right? Now we have to find out that out of total how much is left. So total was 1. Out of that we will subtract this much, that whatever the work that they do for 4 days, and we have to tell what is the left out. So we will just simply solve this equation, okay. So 1 minus 4 into 1 by 15 plus 1 by 20. If we have to take the LCM, it will be 60, okay. So if I will multiply 1 by 15 with 60, it will be 15 4s are 60, right? So 4 will come here, then 20. If I multiply 1 by 20 with 60, it will be 3s, okay. 20 into 3 is 60, right? Then divide by 60. For solving it further will be 1 minus 4 multiplied by 7 by 60, right? This can get cut off. 4 ones are 1 and 4 5s are 20. So remaining we will have 15 minus 7 by 15, which will be equals to 8 by 15, okay. So 8 by 15 will be the work that will be left out when they work together for 4 days, okay. So out of total, if we subtract that, then 8 by 15 will be the work that will be left out. So the correct answer will be option number B. I hope you are getting. If you have any doubts, please feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will clarify it more. Moving on to the next question now. So we have this as the next question. Let's read it out first of all. A can do a work in 20 days, okay, and then B can do a work in 30 days. Same work, okay. If they work together for 5 days, what fraction of work is left, okay. See, again we have some data. Based on that we will find out the answer. We have the work done by A, which is 20 days, okay. Like work done by the same work that can be done by B, it will be in 30 days, okay. So what I will do, first of all, as I told you, I will do it 1 day work, okay. 1 day work of A will be 1 by 20. Similarly, I will write 1 day work of B will be 1 by 30, okay. Now total work done by A and B in 1 day, okay, will be how much? Simply we need to sum those, okay. 1 by 20 plus 1 by 30. Now what is told to us is, if they work together for 5 days, what fraction of work is left? See, we already know that the total work is always 1, okay. Total work is always 1. So we will create this type of equation that out of total work we have to subtract the work done by A and B in 5 days, okay. Work done by A and B in 5 days, right? So our equation will look something like this: 1 minus 5 multiplied by 1 by 20 plus 1 by 30, right? This is the work done by A and B in 1 day. So in 5 days, how much work they will do? Multiplied by 5. That is what we have done here. Now we will try to simplify this equation, okay. See, first of all, let's try to take the LCM of this thing. So 1 by 20 and 1 by 30. What is the LCM for 20 and 30? It will be 60, okay, because 60 is the least number that can be divided by 20 also, and that can be divided by 30 also, okay. So what I will do is 1 by 20 multiplied by 60 plus 1 by 30 multiplied by 60 whole divided by 60, okay, and this stays like this for now. Let's try to solve it here further. So 1 minus 5 multiplied by, this will be 3, this will be 2. So 3 plus 2 by 16. When we will cancel this out, 5 will get cancelled, okay, by 16. It will be 5 and the 5 and then 2 are 10. So 1 minus 5 by 12. Then we will further solve it. It will be 12 minus 5, which will be 7 by 12. Okay. So this is the amount of work, okay, that we will get after solving the equation, and the equation we have based on this thing only, that if they work together for 5 days, what fraction of work is left. So this much amount of work that will be left. Okay. So the correct answer will be option number B. Moving on to the next question, which is this one. Okay. The question says Ram covers 20 kilometers at a speed of 15 kilometer per hour and the other 10 kilometers at a speed of 6 kilometer per hour. What is his average speed throughout the journey? Okay. So we have a lot of data that is given to us and we are asked to find out average speed. Okay. So first let us understand what is average speed. So whenever you have to find average speed, okay, of anyone, you have this formula. Average speed is what? Speed is equals to distance upon time. So average speed is total distance upon total time. Okay, total distance upon total time. Because whenever you are having this type of question based on average speed, you will be having multiple values of distances and multiple values of times or speed in the given question. So you have to take total distance upon total time. Let's try to see. See, distance is given as Ram covers 20 kilometers. So this is the distance at a speed of 15 kilometer per hour and other 10 kilometers at some other speed. So which means the total distance of Ram will be 20 kilometer plus this 10 kilometer. Okay. So 20 plus 10 will be 30 kilometer. So we have already found the upper portion, which is 30 kilometer. Let's now find total time. Okay. So see, again, time is directly not given to us, but speed is given to us. Okay. And distance is given to us. So we know we have this formula, speed is equals to distance upon time. So if you have to find time, time will be distance upon speed, right? So this is the formula that we are going to use to find different values of time. So let's see. First, there are two time values that we are going to get, because initially when he is traveling or covering 20 kilometers, his speed is what? His distance that he is traveling is 20 kilometer and the speed at which he is covering this distance is 15, right? In the same way, time 2 will be he is covering how much distance? 10 kilometers. So 10 and at the speed of 6 kilometer per hour, right? So this will be our time 2. So this will be the total time when we will add both of these. Let's simplify it so that our calculation becomes easy. So I will cut this with 5. So 5 4s are 20 and 5 3s are 15. Okay. And in the same way, and this is hours. Okay. And in the same way, this will get cut off with 2. So 2 5s are 10 and 2 3s are 6 hour. Okay. So total time now will be what? 4 by 3 hour plus 5 by 3, which becomes what? 9 by 3, and 9 by 3 is nothing but 3 hour, right? Now we have both the things, that is total distance also and total time also. So let's put it in the formula that we had. So average speed is equals to total distance, which was 30 kilometer that we have found out, and then total time, which is 3 hour that we have found out. So 30 by 3, it will get cut off and we will get 10. Okay. 10 kilometer per hour. Okay. Now guys, whenever we are solving these types of questions, you have to also pay a small attention on the units that are given to us. See, in this question, the units were all in kilometer per kilometers and kilometer per hour. So we never needed to do any conversion, right? So everything was in kilometer per hour. So our final answer also directly got reduced in kilometer per hour. But if in this place, if any of the speed or any of time which was given into minutes or seconds, then you might have to have the need to convert it. Okay. So just pay small attention to that part also. But mostly you won't get that heavy questions. You will just get these types of question only, where the units will mostly be same. Okay. So the final answer for this question will be option number C, which is 10 kilometer per hour. Let's now move on to the next question. But guys, before we move on to the next question, if you are finding this video helpful, please give it a like. Let's move on to the next question. Let's look at this question. The question says a person crosses a 600 meter long street in 5 minutes. What is his speed in kilometer per hour? Okay. So basically a very straightforward question. Let's try solving it. The formula for speed is distance upon time, right? And here in the question, distance is given to us as 600 meter and time is given to us as 5 minutes. Okay. So let's try to solve it. But the main thing that you have to notice is that we have to find the answer in kilometer per hour. Okay. So after finding our solution, we need to convert it into kilometer per hour. Okay. So see, the distance is given to us is 600 meter. Okay. So which means we will find our initial solution in meter per second, and then we will convert it into kilometer per hour. Okay. So meter we have taken, and then it is 5 minutes. Okay, so we will have to convert this into seconds, because we always find it either in meter per second or kilometer per hour. So since meter is here, I will convert it into second. How I will convert? In 1 minute we have 60 seconds, so in 5 minutes 5 into 60. Okay, this will be my seconds. Now when we will solve it, this will get cut and this 6 will get cut by this, so I will have 10 on the top, 5 at the bottom. So 5 2 times are 10. Okay, so 2 meter per second is the speed that we have got. Now we have to convert this speed into what? Kilometer per hour, right? Because we have to give the final answer in kilometer per hour. Now how you will do that? See, there is one straightforward method. Like if you, whenever you have to convert any, like speed which is given in meter per second to kilometer per hour, you will simply multiply it with 18 by 5. Okay, and you will get your solution. So when we will multiply it by 18 by 5, it will be given, we will be getting as 36 by 5. Okay, and since we have the options as decimals, let's try to convert it into decimal points. So 5 7s are 35 point 10, so it will be 2. So 7.2 will be the correct answer. So the correct answer for this question will be option number B. Now guys, you might be thinking from where this 18 by 5 came. Okay, so just for if someone is not aware, let me tell you. See, we have meter per second. If we have to convert meter into kilometer, how many meters are there in 1 kilometer? So 1 kilometer has 1000 meters, right? In the same way, 1 hour has how many seconds? 3600. Okay, 3600 seconds. So whenever you have to convert any meter per second into kilometer per hour, what you have to do is you have to divide the particular value. For example, 1 meter per second, so you have to divide it by 1000, because you are converting into kilometer, and then multiply it with 3600. Okay, so when you will solve this, these two zeros will get cut off, and then when you will cut it with 2, you will get 2 5s are 10 and then 18. So in this way you will get 18 by 5. But instead of doing this calculation every time, we just try to remember that if we have to convert it in from meter per second to kilometer per hour, we will just simply multiply it with 18 by 5. I hope now you have got it. If you have any more doubts, feel free to put it in the comment section. Let's now move on to the next question. So guys, so far we have covered a lot of questions. Now I have one DIY question for all of you. DIY as in do it yourself. So this question I will not be solving on my own. You need to solve this question and write down the answer of it in the comment section. The question is, a car covers a distance of 240 kilometers at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour. How much time will it take to cover the same distance at a speed of 60 kilometers per hour? The options that you are given to us is 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours and 6 hours. So guys, if you have watched the video so far, I would highly request you that please do attempt this question and write down this answer in the comment section. So guys, that's all for today's video. I hope you found it helpful, and if you do, please give it a like. If you have any more doubts, please drop them in the comment section. You can also join me on Telegram and follow me on Instagram as well. You can ask your queries over Instagram DM too. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss on any of the important updates or notification whenever I upload a new video. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching the video.